Welcome to Lauren Weatherly, who's the Senior Vice President of Marketing for PGI.
So I started my career in 2000, having finished my MBA, and I spent 15 years or nearly 15 years in my first company in telecom, going from a product manager to a director level. I made the move to PGI, in fact, almost nearly 6 years ago. Since I've been at PGI, I did come over. Channel marketing has been a very predominant part of my background. And since then, I really had just a huge opportunity put in front of me around 3 years ago, where I had the opportunity to run demand gen here at PGI. And that truly has been the most challenging but most rewarding role that I've had. That time and effort at PGI is, the reason I now have had the opportunity to be asked to step into the SVP role. It is, it really gives you that opportunity. You have to look at marketing from an end-to-end perspective. You have to understand, why the product ticks and how it ticks and why people are interested in it, to, how do you build compelling content around it? And then you have to understand the entire digital experience, the entire buyer journey, who your personas are. It just gives you all those fundamental building blocks that, really cover, the, marketing as a whole. And so, most recently had the opportunity to step into this role, and it's, it's already proving incredibly exciting and rewarding. Staying above the noise. We have been very fortunate with the solution that we have today. We definitely have a much more defined set of personas and use cases that we are targeting. And that helps us tremendously in terms of how we can be in the right place, the right space, in front of the right people. And the big one is at the right time. It's just being able to be present for our buyers and be easy to understand for our buyers, and just, just be succinct and clear. Intuition, as I'm hearing things and having conversations and engaging with people, I feel like I'm a very intuitive person, and I can see sort of beyond what's being said to me. It enables me to ask questions that maybe, get to the next layer of things. I had a CMO that I worked for. He had an incredible focus on EQ and really the topic of emotional intelligence, and how meaningful that is to a person in their career. The emotional and the EQ side of our intelligence plays such an amazingly critical role, and it really was a pivotal moment for me in terms of gaining confidence in myself. And seeing something that I bring to the table that not everyone, necessarily can bring to the table. Respect, holding each other to a standard, holding yourself to a standard. I think respect is just a critical aspect of all relationships. Also, open-mindedness, hearing each other and listening, personal integrity, just to be able to stand by what you do, what you believe in. Fluid conversation. I think that, coaching and mentoring isn't something that you set a time to do. It's sort of in your day to day. In everything that I'm doing, when they're asking me a question, I'm finding ways to answer the question and then sort of expand it to say, in the next time that something like this were to come up, how would you, address it, knowing now what you know in terms of, my answer, how I would address the concern or issue, to take that forward and know that you don't need to seek my advice from one another. I think we are a smaller team, but we are a very tightly interwoven team. And I would say that all of the individuals that report directly to me, I'm speaking with each of them, on a day-to-day basis, and there's so much interaction going on amongst the team. And I think for much of us, it's sort of that inner working of learning from each other and hearing each other's perspectives that really acts as a source of inspiration. I also think, it's also a very family-oriented team, and work-life balance is very important. And I know that, for me, just my time away from work and doing the things that I love to do is a source of inspiration. When I was in more of a sales enablement function, one of the areas of responsibility that I had was incentives, and developing sales incentives is a very unique area of marketing to focus. It can be very challenging. It can be very expensive without a lot of reward. And I think, over time, I did it for many, many years. And I think over time, we really found a systematic way to develop incentive programs that truly paid when there was success and did not pay when there was not success. But that, it's funny, you would think that would be fairly straightforward, but it was something where we found that magical moment, and then we sort of went into a rinse and repeat mode to a certain extent, while certainly making the creative interesting and different. And that was something that I really found to be meaningful in my career in the days that we were selling these MPLS networks. So this is when voice started going over the internet, so for the first time you were taking your voice calls over the internet, and so you were sharing that bandwidth. And I would find unique ways to develop our product launch presentations around those solutions. I love being able to break down something very complicated and putting it into a digestible manner. And I, that's something that I really love. So it's not necessarily as campaign oriented, but it's, it's still those sort of core marketing activities that can have a big impact.